Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. I have a full moon reading ready for you. But I want to step back a little bit, because what built up to this, I promised in my last half moon reading that I will elaborate a little bit on this Pluto transition into Capricorn. And again, we have real star constellations here. I was very intrigued to talk about that because recently I was watching a video from Adamus St. And I will leave you the link below. And there was a point out that we have moved into a very, very significant energy shift. I don't talk much about it, but this is very visible because now when I share the screen with you, you can see that when we look at the Pluto transition, this is here, when Pluto has moved 00 degree Capricorn. And when we have here, that is for Chiang Rai, Thailand, the 23rd, it was the 22nd in America, and the channeling was from the 22nd. So we can see that this whole energy shift is connected with Pluto. And it makes so much sense because, again, Pluto is one of the very misunderstood energies. And what is also very sad, actually, is that we have with the planets, the good ones, the bad ones. There's nothing good and bad. And we know already that there is nothing we have to change. We are here for an experience. And what is happening now, the whole planet and humanity is being upgraded into a higher energy frequency. And this is about time that this happened. So this was very crucial. And it is very interesting when I listen to that channeling that it totally confirms actually what I see here in the stars. You can also see that when we have the dark moon, that was just the day before, but the horoscope from the last reading is quite everything is in Pisces. So see, it's very difficult for people to understand. But when you look at the sign, which Pisces is, this is a moon turn left and the moon turn right. There are two moons, and the moons are connected with a circle. So this means the beginning and the end. And the circle between is actually the shift into the new energy. So every time when we transit through Pisces, means something old is gonna go away and is gonna die, and something new is coming up. So I will share with you quickly the pictures, because I think this is very important to understand. Now, see, we have the two moons here, and I hope you can see that now. The two moons are the end and the beginning of a circle. You can see, like, from one side, the whole circle's coming together, and you see it here. And then in between is a gap. And this is the gap, actually, that we might call death. And death is just meaning that we are moving from one dimension into another one. And then we have a possibility to either come back into this body or to start a complete other new cycle. So this is a very important image that we can understand what is going on here. You see, that is the end. So everything is in Pisces. So we can see that this is the end of something. And now I want to share with you the next picture. I thought I can just switch from one to the other, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So what we have here is actually, we have the two signs of Pluto and of Mercury. And I want to show this very clearly. Mercury is the personal planet that represents the human being. if your sun is in a certain sign, that does definitely not mean that you can say, I am Capricorn, Cancer, whatever it is. You are not. You know, we have to come to the point to understand that the only thing what the I am is, I am that I am, because I am a divine being having a human experience. So this is when you see that we have all the three elements here together. Actually 4 with the cross. The moon is the part of receiving. This is where I receive. Then the circle, this will be a representative of the sun. This is the consciousness. So how does a human being function? I receive input, and this can be from any level. It doesn't matter. It can be with your eyes, with your ears, with your senses. It can be intuition, it can be inspiration, whatever. It is something that comes in, and then it is processed in the circle, which means the consciousness. So it's processed in the consciousness, and then we materialize it. And here, see, we have actually 2 elements. We have the vertical element, that is the connection in the vertical direction, and the manifestation in the horizontal direction. This is the cross, the symbol of the cross. Now we have Pluto moving into Capricorn. Now Pluto is, see, that's exactly the same element as there is with Mercury, but the moon is below and the sun is inside of the moon. That means actually when we look at the principle, the name Pluto is completely wrong. This is actually the life-giving female aspect, goddess, in the background manifesting. So we could say this is here, the consciousness is being received and manifested. So we can say that this is the goddess behind everything that is giving birth to everything that comes into materialization. So the transformation that is connected in Scorpion with Pluto is definitely not physical death, but it is the transformation. We let go of everything on the physical to be physically, spiritually reborn into higher consciousness. That is what we could say enlightenment. This is when we let go of all the crap outside, of all the input from outside, and become whole, become in a way the I am that I am. I am very disturbed sometimes when I look what is attributed to these planets. I can see it completely from a different aspect. And see, that's why what is happening right now is so very important, because when Pluto is moving into Capricorn, which means the physical death, that here we can see that even up down to the physical level, something is happening, and we can see the whole shift of the energy. And let's go back to the chart. Then we can see again here that all these planets that are in Pisces, and remember the picture I just showed you before, because now we are in the limbo between the 2 different realities. And this is my understanding also, that especially now in this moment, because you see here Mercury is here too, your personality is here, you have the moon we have here, and we have the personal part that is being transformed into something new. And when we see that Venus is already in Aries and Uranus too, it shows that the new is already prepared. So we have already worked on preparing the new. And now the final act is happening. And this is our transformation. This is the enlightenment, the letting go of all the material clutter, of the belief that matter can make you happy, matter can bring you anywhere. It cannot. It's only the divine within you, the spirit that can bring you somewhere. So this is actually the part that has led up energetically to the full moon, which we have now. And I will here now, this is the horoscope for the full moon. Now you can see here the full moon is, the sun is still in Pisces, and now it's in conjunction with Chiron. Chiron also one of the very misunderstood planet to eat. It's not a planet, it's smaller. But again, you know, this is all human taxation. You as human, they say it's like this, it's like this, it's like that. This is also why it is so enormous, difficult to move forward, because people have set some laws, and even scientists, they come to a point where they cannot go further because they still stuck with these laws that have been defined 100 or whatever years ago, and they cannot just go away and just see, okay, that was not real either, because everything has shifted, our consciousness has shifted, we are somewhere else. Now, when you make this a little bit bigger, you can see here with Jupiter in Pisces at the end, you remember that's the expansion. We have Chiron, that is the part of the healing. And from the two planets, we have the opposition to Virgo. Now, we can say here what we have actually, this is like in religion, it's the female, the male principle together. That is the final step into innocence. This is the moment where we drop the karma. This is the moment where we give up. And this is the moment where we can just simply let go of what is, because it's not. We have created this illusion. We have created everything. We have created the material part of it. And now we play it out, and we are moving here. See, Mercury is already in Aries here. We can move into something new. You know, the very interesting thing is, like, I woke up this morning, was everything okay? And suddenly I was very angry. I really was angry and sad in a way. And I quarreled with my staff. I really didn't know what was happening, but when I look at the chart, it's very clear. You know, every time we move into something new, every time things are becoming visible, and opposition is becoming visible in the contrary to a conjunction. When the planets are together, it's more difficult to see. So in the opposition, this is why the full moon often there's accidents, and full moon also very often babies are born. This is why it comes into visibility. And when we have Mars here also together in Gemini, this is the quarrel. So it is important that we, in the moment what is happening, just take a step back and maybe laugh about yourself for a moment and said, okay, why the heck do I freak out in the moment? And that's the reason. It's because of these energies. It is not easy to handle these energies. So I would suggest that you don't have a big agenda in the moment, that you don't need to go and do this and that, but that you take it easy over these days, over this full moon, if you can. And the moment that you feel you want to go into an argument with somebody, you maybe get a nice chocolate or a glass of wine or whatever, but do something for yourself and start to only observe the situation that we have, because this is now a transition which is not very easy to go through and to be calm, but it is part of the healing. And as I promised already, I'm working on the healing power of illness videos. I'm not there yet, but I will come again, and I will exactly explain how illness exists, but has nothing to do neither with virus nor with anything outside, but it is inside of us that we create illness, and we might create an affinity to some bacteria or something that, of course, in the physical body is part of then what we call illness. Now, see, with all this, what I said before, when we have here Scorpion up on MC, this is also a very clear sign here that our goal in the moment is transformation. What kind of transformation when it comes into from Aquarius? It is our spiritual transformation with Saturn in 12th house to let the old ego, the old ways of life definitely die and resurrect that within us that is the spiritual me, the I am that I am. And I will put the link to the videos with Adamus St below with Geoffrey Hoppe. They are absolutely gorgeous, and I felt so good afterwards when I was listening and watching them. So I hope you will experience that too. Now here in the IC Taurus. Now see, this is important, and we can see that already Venus is just now also on 0° Taurus. You know, when there is a big storm outside, those trees that don't have good roots, they fall. Now, it is very important that you keep yourself grounded. Now, this is a very important time with the Chiron healing aspect that you maybe look a little bit into your physical health, also mental and emotional health, and do something for yourself. Maybe again, it's not really the time for meeting lots of people because you're triggered very easily. Because in this kind of transition, it's very difficult to keep your feet grounded. And you can see here Mercury, Gemini with Mars here in the family house. So it might be that even with family that you go into arguments, that you might fight, you know. We have Mars as the warrior, the fights that happen. It's also the kind of blow up for a moment in Gemini. So how does it happen in Gemini? It's mental. So what happened, you know, the difficult thing is sometimes you say something and you cannot really take it back, and that's sad. So it's very important that you maybe distance yourself a little bit, because here we have also one karmic aspect, and here this aspect from Saturn out of 12 to the moon in Virgo is that you might start to question yourself, and that you might to think about it. Oh, I did in my life, I did this wrong and I did that wrong, and I could have done this better, and so on. I think this is something we all have. I have that too. There's many things I think I should have done better. But on the other hand, you know, I've done the best I could in the moment. With the consciousness I had, with the knowing I had, with the circumstances around, I did what I felt in the moment to be best. And we are here for experience. We are the eyes of the divine. We are the senses of the divine to experience 3D reality. And now it comes to an end. And this is very natural that you feel sad, that you also have part within you that feels, oh my God, what is coming? And I tell you, what is coming will be much better, depending also on what timeline you are. There are several timelines that are splitting from here. And even if timelines have split already several times before, and I mean, we can at any time, we can decide on what timeline we go with our decisions. But we have already gone like many, like either direction left or direction right, no judgment here, whatever. So we have, if we are more on the left side, we have many times moved left already, not just one time. Or on the right side, we have moved right many times already. And the major timelines are more or less far apart of each other, but this is more or less like a tree, you know, there are many, many different branches. So this is what is happening now. And I think this full moon will be a very, very nice opportunity again to listen into yourself. And if you have time, please listen to those videos. I will put the link below, as I said before. And on the DC, on the outside, what we have to show, we have Leo, we have to take responsibility for everything what we have done. We have just to stand up for ourselves. And again, there is no judgment. We are the ones who judge. We are not being judged because we are here for experience. And whatever we experience is connected with our consciousness, and the only thing we can do is move forward. Stand up, stand proud, stand in the divine within you. And I am that I am. I surrender to the divine within. I surrender my ego, my human ego, to the divine. And don't think that has something to do not to have fun anymore in life. Absolutely not. Once you are connected with the self, then the inspiration kicks in. It's a good feeling. It is, you don't need to sit and meditate. And especially here when we have quarrels with Mars, maybe it's better you go and hike and swim and or ski or whatever climate you live in, maybe do some sports. But it is a good time to be by yourself for the moment. Okay, I hope this reading can help you a little bit to understand the quality of time. That's what we are doing here, time quality. And if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you again. Probably I can manage this week to make one of the illness videos that will help you to understand better what truly illness is and how we manifest it. But first I have to go to the dentist. I just broke my tooth a couple days ago. And I apologize that I messed up my last video for the half moon. I had no idea that when I put this long picture in that the whole thing stretches. So I learned another lesson. Okay, looking forward to see you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye for now.